Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name is Burak Mandar, and I made 33,000 euros in one single day selling fashion clothes. And this comes to around 38,000 in US dollars for the Americans watching this. And in this video, we're going to dive deep on how I did it, how I found the product, how I sourced the product, how I did the ads, everything and everything. I'm going to show you guys anything that you need to know. So, first things first. I want to jump in on this graph here. This is basically a store that's made in America, and then basically we ran this in a European country. We ran this in a European market, which was Germany. So that's also why you see at 2 a.m., 1 a.m., 3 a.m., like all these sales, while at 6, 7, 8 p.m., 9 p.m., where you're supposed to get the sales, you don't see many sales. So I want to go over the profit and loss quickly here. So as you can see, we had 33,000 in sales, which with 7,000 on ads, which is a ROAS of 4.5. And this is basically combined with Facebook and TikTok. It's not one platform. I'm going to show you guys how we did that. It's around with 35% margins. Net profit was of this 33K 11.6, which is fucking amazing. And yeah, as you can see, like the ads is there. And yeah, perfect. Yeah, basically 50% to Meta, 50% to TikTok. And it worked better on TikTok, which you might not want to expect. But shit, it did. So first things first, how do we find a product? Where did I find it? I found it on TikTok. So there's a method on TikTok which are called the swiper method. On the swiper method, what you can do is basically literally through swiping through videos, you can find products or videos of products that could be going incredibly well. So as we see, for example, this is my explore page on my For You page also. What I do is I follow all these girls that post about fashion. So for example, if I go to this girl's account, right, I already follow her, I believe, but if I go to her account, for example, what you will see is she has some followers, etc. But all these clothing videos that you will see that are, basically going viral. 3.8 here, 3.8 million, 250K, 135K. And what I'm personally looking for, what I'm doing when I'm scrolling through these videos of girls, first of all, I'm engaging with them, I'm following them, right? And then I'm liking their videos, I'm saving their videos. So the algorithm is basically going to show me more and more of their, like this one, for example. So the algorithm is going to show me as one of their audience, right? So if I just put the sound on, also it was just a bit annoying, so I didn't put the sound on. So the audience of watching this is usually girls that are looking to buy these clothes. And when you go, for example, let's go on this one. People always ask all the time, which is good, which is demand. Where is the top from? Where's the top from? Right? Top from question mark. Where is it from? Like, people are curious where it's from. People want to have the same clothing. And if this is going viral, what this is going to do is it's going to create a trend. So more people are going to search for this product. More people are going to go watch this video and comment under where is it from? Where is it from? And then what you see oftentimes is those clothes are usually sold out. So what we do is, one second. This is exactly why I put the sound off. But basically what we do is when you scroll through all these videos, in the end you'll find a couple, like let me find the viral one. You find a couple, for example, like this one, right? Which, when you go to her account, you'll find loads of dresses. I know this girl, not personally, but you'll find loads of dresses that you can see that she's wearing, and then they're going viral. And then if you go on here, lots of people want the dress, where's the dress from? 98 likes here. I need her closet. 3,000 people liking a comment. So what this basically does is it creates demand and it creates people wanting to buy this product. And the product I had, which was one of the products that we advertised on this store on that 37 or 33K euro a day, which is basically 37K in dollars. But the product I had was this one. One second, if I can find it here. It was basically a dress, which was quite similar to this girl basically wearing it. That's why I was also searching for her. And in the end, when you keep scrolling through these videos, you find, for example, one of them going extremely viral like this, 1.3 million, right? There's going to be loads and loads of people wanting to be having this dress, right? So when you know where this dress is from and when you can basically source this with your supplier, a lot of the times these are dresses from China. So for example, if we take this one, right? If I just click on it and then I just basically download it, and then we go to 1688, which is basically a website for people that are dropshipping on AliExpress, right? So if you see AliExpress, those are dropshippers like ourselves on AliExpress, and these are basically the manufacturers. These are basically the factories that make the products. As you can scroll through here, you'll find loads of gems too. So we click on here, which let me just do it this way, and then I basically just yank this picture in there. What it's going to do is it's going to basically search for that dress, which, you know, we just found on this website, let's say, right? They're selling it here. You see other girls wearing it, loads of pictures of it. And the funny thing is, when you actually search it up on this here, you find loads of dresses exactly the same, which is the crazy part because all of it comes from China, right? You literally look how many of these manufacturers you find. Now, this is 82 1, I don't know how much that is, to 1 to USD, which is like $10-11, which is nothing, pretty much nothing, right? If you compare the prices to, you know, what all these people actually would be paying. So what it basically comes down to is you want to find products on TikTok where you are basically going to be scrolling through an explore page or through your For You page. Just mute this shit, bro. Fucking hell. Annoying as sounds. But when you find these videos that are having like hundreds of thousands of likes, like this one, for example, you know it's viral and you know lots of people want to buy that product or, you know, have that product, which means there's demand for it. And if we can supply that demand, which basically giving the product to them, which, you know, is literally what we do, what we do with dropshipping, we are going to be the one basically taking over the whole market. And that is exactly what we did. So same thing with this. You can literally even take one of these, or if she posts something else viral, right? And I also, if you go here, all my accounts, I follow loads of chicks that are literally just posting all these type of content. Like also this girl that we just saw, the one with the dresses, like loads of chicks. And then when you follow them on your following page, you will also see these, right? And in the end, what we're going to be focusing on is taking this product from TikTok, because it's not run as an ad. We're going to run it as an ad to TikTok, which is exactly what we did here. And on that day, we literally spent 3.7K on ads, and this got us 30, basically 3.3 ROAS here, which is like, what would that be? Like 12, 13K, right? Imagine that's lots, amazing fucking offer, right? And what it basically came down to also with this is we had upsells and we had bundles for this too. So this was one of the products, by the way. We had multiple products, but the whole point was our average order value is basically $50. It comes around $50. And in the end, when you are going to be wanting to make more money, you can't just stay at, you know, the lower numbers of $20, $30. You have to up your average order value and your lifetime value per customer. So just to bring it in, just to bring it in contrast, what basically your AOV means, your average order value, is how much someone pays every single time they order from you. Now, to basically up this, you have a couple things, like basically you just add an upsell. I know I'm writing this shit. I'm on a laptop writing this stuff. So first thing is an upsell, which is also what we did. So when someone would buy, for example, the dress, we would upsell them with earrings, right? So earring, right? And in the end, there's not going to be everyone that's going to be buying this. But if people do buy it, then in the end, we're going to be making more money from it. Another one is basically that you're going to upsell them with shipping. Now, this is basically possible with every fucking product. Every product you sell, you can always add, let's say it's free shipping, you can always add the extra option of ecological shipping or express shipping or faster shipping, right? And believe it or not, some people actually go ahead and buy this. And it's crazy how much money that can make you. Also, what you can do is, for example, protection. So, for example, a lot of people, when they buy from TikTok or whatever, they're usually, you know, kind of skeptical that something is going to happen to their product. So they basically want to be protected. So you basically give them a guarantee. If something happens to your product, you have protection, and then they pay $3 to $4 for that extra, right? Amazing, works also. And then I would say another one is just bundles. So instead of just selling one of the product, you basically sell 2 or 3 of them for cheaper. So how this works, let me just type it, it's way better. How this works, how this goes in is working is, let's say the dress we sell for $30, right? And the cost is $10. Now, that is bundle 1. So that will be buy 1 is 29. Well, we run that to $29.99 and whatnot. And then buy 2, for example, if you were to have a bundle and kaching bundles or whatnot, you wouldn't put it down as what would be 30 times 2 is like 59. You wouldn't make it $59.99. 2 reasons. When you have 2 pieces that you're going to be buying from your supplier, oftentimes it's going to come in cheaper. So instead of here, you also see like this is when you buy it more in bulk from these people, but you see like they're going to throw a discount on when you buy more, right? Now, I don't know, you don't really have this with these guys, like it doesn't say it here, but I'm sure if you discuss with your supplier, I always have it too, you're always going to pay lower price. So let's say one of them would be 82 yen, 2 of them would be 164 yen, right? they'll give it to you for 155 yen, which comes down to, let's say, if we do it in this thing, cogs, let me just double type it here quickly. One is, let's say, $10, and then two would be, actually should be $20, right? But they make it 19, or they make it 18, you know. So you have a couple dollars to play with there. So that is always something good, and you want people to buy more. So let's say your profit margin on the first bundle, which is 30 minus the cost, which is 10, is basically 20, right? You can, on the second one, where you're going to be having, let's say, 18 there, you can basically put it at, what would that be? Let's say we put it at 50. That's not gonna, wait 1 second. My math is not mathing, but I would basically put it at 54.95 or 49.99, anything along the lines where you're still going to be making a couple dollars more, right? And then the third one, I would just do an outrageous one, just fuck it, you know, just put it at fucking 89 or something. Someone buys it. Not everyone buys it, but when someone buys it, you just make more money, because no one needs 3 dresses anyway, right? So many people don't buy 3 dresses. But if someone does, that's literally all you need. And this is basically how you can up your AOV. So you basically upsell them with, for example, on a complementary product like an earring, or you give them the option to pay for shipping, and then the option for protection on their packages, and bundles. Bundles is basically by far the best thing you can do. And this is not the only place where we did it. And what is important to also note on how to scale and how we scaled is we use surf scaling on this. So what surf scaling basically comes down to is, let me just type it out again, because I'm not going to be drawing, because I'm not the best with drawing. You guys saw it already. But for example, we spent here on our cost per conversion, which is what we need to be looking at, cost per conversion, which is basically cost per sale, right? So you pay, let's say, 12.99. Okay, let's say we pay $12 for sale. So I'll name it CPA, because that is cost per action, which basically comes down to it. So CPA is $12, right? If we have $12 on a CPA and our average order value is $47, right? Or $50, let's say, in this case. That's Facebook. I'll go into that in a second. Our AOV is $50, right? And then our product cost for that $50 cogs will basically be around, let's say, I think like it was around 17 something it was, right? This is basically, let's make it 18 so it's easier, right? So what we have is our cost is basically 12 plus the 18, right? So basically our cost to advertisements, this is ads, and this is to product, right? This is our cost. And then our money that we make, right, per sale, 1 second, about like that, is basically $50. Now this 12 plus 18, our cost comes down to $30, right? So we have a cost of $30 per order with ads, right? And then if we have our product that we sell, 50 minus the $30 is $20 per sale. So if we're on TikTok and we have to spend $12 to get a sale, we're making literally $20 every single sale. So if you see 117 here, 117 times 20, that's how much you're making. If you see 26 here, it's even better with $10 CPA. But just take the same idea. It comes down to $20 per sale times 26, loads of money. That is basically the whole idea with scaling. What it comes down to is you look at what your cost per conversion is. You look at your break-even ROAS. So you're basically what you would be making when you would be making nothing. So let's say we would spend, here we have 18. So break even is this. Break even means no profit and no loss. So when we do that is, for example, we do the 50 minus the product cost, which is 18. What does that come down to? 32 or something? I have no idea. 32. So our ads, we can maximum spend to $32. So if we spend $32 on ads, is no profit. Why? Because we don't have any room to play with it anymore. So if we spend $32, we're not making any money. That's our break even. So we want to keep that below. So we want to make sure when we're going to scale, when we're going to up our budget, which is basically here, and you just edit the budget, put it up, etc. That is surf scaling. I have a more dedicated guide on my YouTube channel somewhere about that. It basically comes down to that, you cannot spend any more than $30. And that, all of it, basically got us with the 2.9 conversion rate, which has to do with the website, has to do with the offer, has to do with the product, everything got us to that 33K in one single day, and 37K in dollars, of course. And that is not where it ends. We also have Facebook, of course. Like I showed you guys here on the dashboard, we made 11K net profit, but that was 3.8K on Facebook and 3.3K on TikTok. So basically the same idea came in here on Facebook, we don't scale either if we don't have let's say good CPA, right? So basically cost per action, cost per acquisition. Now it says a bit more on Facebook here on the spend, but it doesn't matter. It comes down to approximately the same amount probably, right? Basically here we had a bit less purchases. Our cost per action was a bit more expensive, but because on TikTok you can't go as crazy scale on a very consistent term, which you actually can, but not every single day. So you're not going to be making 30-40K purely off TikTok every single day. It's very hard to do that unless you have like a huge brand, right? What we did is basically we added Facebook onto it so we can also advertise there and build our name up and actually get some stuff going for ourselves. So that is basically that. And as you see here, we were testing new offers, right? And then we were having creative campaigns on our winners, on our new ads, right? And then test campaigns that we were scaling, etc., etc. So the whole idea is when you're going to be scaling your products up, especially on TikTok, Facebook, also here, new offer, winner, and cause stands for creative, by the way. So all of it is basically has to do with your winning creatives that you basically double down on. You double down on what works, and then you try to do it again. So let's say we were going to go in on how we got the conversion rate also so high. So what we need to do is we need to go build our store. And the easiest way to do it is to build it through Atlas, which is basically an AI store builder. And I'm going to show you guys how you can do it. So for example, when you go download this app, what you need to do is basically click on Shopify, and then you basically click on the product. I'll literally select the same product that we were running. And what you're going to have is this AI software is literally going to create the product for you, the whole product page. Now, I had this guy here, these guys. This is basically the competition. Like you see also lots of girls wearing it, which is really good. You can use these video or pictures or etc. in your store. But what we have here, I'm going to show you guys, it's going to be insane. So the whole idea, just coming back on it again, found this product literally just scrolling through TikTok, and then just take it. That's it. Now, for example, this would also be a good one. 42K. Also, if you go to the thing here, where's the top from? City Beach. Literally tags who it's from, right? And you just go to the website. You just take the product link. You just go back to 1688. Just put it in here as a product. That's it. From there on, you just find the product. Just make a product page about it. You just put the product on your store. You put a couple pictures in there, like I have on this one, and then you go to Atlas AI Store Builder, and it's gonna be crazy what this is going to do. This is all you need to do, by the way. Once you do this, that's it. You don't need to make a crazy page for it. They're going to create your whole website for you. So let's wait until this is created, and then from there on, we're going to kind of edit it around a little bit so it looks a bit better than what they have. So we have 4 pictures, literally, that's it, right? You can make more pictures. You can even make pictures with AI, but let's just click on continue. That's it. And from here, you can select like a color preset. Let's say, what would suit with this? A little bit bluish, no? Or, no, this is a bit too much. Wait, let's see, beauty and fashion. Fashion, it's a bit too colorful in my opinion. We'll just go with the faded denim. There's no point in trying to fuck it around too much with it. Or we'll just go tech and luxury. This one, midnight blue. Yeah, perfect. I don't like anything, but hey, shit. Oh, here, perfect. Just make it black and white, bro. Fuck you know, just black, white. That's it. No need for this crazy shit. Or it needs to be the other way around. White, black. Cause I don't see the point of having all these crazy colors. It doesn't really add anything to it. So basically, click on any of them. You basically click on start your 3-day free trial, and basically just approve the charge. From there on, basically going to be charging you in 3 days. That's it. And let me just approve this. And after you've approved it, what you're going to have is they're going to basically create the whole store into your store. So now they're integrating it. And from there on, you're basically going to be all good to run. That is basically what it comes down to. So store has been imported, view the store. So what we're going to have now is we're going to basically go to the themes. So what we have now here is basically the theme is uploaded here, Atlas theme. What you want to do is you're just going to click on customize. From here on, it's going to take you to the editor, which is basically all you need to do. Now, this is the homepage. I don't want to fuck around too much with the homepage personally. I'm just going to click on, if I can click on this product, which doesn't allow me to. Here, shop now. I'm just going to click on shop now. And then they're going to take me to the product page, which is basically this one. Now, this is what we're going to edit. Basically, what it looks like right now is already quite decent, but it's not exactly what you wanted to have, right? This, of course, is in German once again, but a lot of things is missing, and you see also your atlas, etc. So I'm basically going to be editing this with you guys. So the first thing we want to do is, I think this is, in my opinion, just way too busy here. So what I'm going to do is, for example, new this summer must have. I'll just remove one of these things, or this, or the look effortlessly chic and this and that. I'm just going to remove this block, right? Because it just feels too much. Like, I personally wanted to have it clean, so I'm going to just delete a lot of these stuff, which, you know, is just going to make it a whole lot cleaner for me. For example, this, I would also just delete this. Now here they have 5 points. Of course you can have more points than that, but I would just do 3 points. And then when you're doing it as a branded product, what you want to focus on is that you're going to be focusing on the product features or the benefits of the product or the pain points that it removes, right? Now on this, it's clothing. You can't really just add anything, right? So what I would do is, for example, something, because I think people that will wear this would be wanting to wear something modest or kind of something elegant-ish, and then still, you know, not have to be uncomfortable. So I'd kind of just add something along the lines. So the limited 50% discount, I would just personally just come down, just remove that. That's just no need for that. All right, perfect for any occasion. I would just leave that in there. Be the center of attention. I would also just delete that. Now, what else they have here? Flattering, elegant, perfect. And nothing needs to be added on that on my part. What I would do, for example, is here you have this little icon, right, of this person's head. I would just go search up like girl selfie, just download this picture. I already downloaded it, and then what I would just come and just put it in here. I don't know if it's this one. Let me just check. Let me just click on it. Author reviews, yeah, author image. You basically come down here, just add the image in there, right? And then it's going to just add itself in there. Let's see how it looks. I think it's going to look a whole lot better instead of this weird icon that it's going to be looking there. Yeah, perfect. KTB looks perfect like this, right? Here you can change the icons too. Now, I'm not going to change every single thing, and then I have to add icons and everything, but I'm not going to do that. But you can change it. And then, for example, what I would do, these scrolling images, I would also change the images on this. Instead of shine bright and turn heads effectively, I would probably remove this whole part, or like the images that we have here, right? So I would just come here, maybe I would just delete the whole thing, because it doesn't add anything much to it that I can change. Now what I would do, for example, is shine confidently this summer, rich text. Can we add a picture somewhere here? Maybe we can. Let's have a look. If we can add like a picture here, that would be perfect actually. So what I would do is I would basically go to the other website that we have, or like the competitor, and then I would just click on this girl, just take this girl's picture, right? Because, you know, it just looks way better. So I would go down, and then I would try to find, for example, this part we wouldn't really need, right? This worldwide shipping. I would just delete this part, and it makes it a bit too busy. So this is loads of things here also. Now, why choose us? This is perfect for branding, but for having a dress, it's not the best. But as they already filled it out, bro, they literally did everything that you need to do. So I would basically just leave it be. Now, what I would delete is this, for example. Join our thrilled community of customers. I would delete the felt more confident and this and that. That doesn't add too much into it, in my opinion. So if there was something I would delete, it would just be these. Then what I would do, for example, on this, I would maybe, yeah, that would actually be fire if I can add like a picture in here. I can't. So what I would do is add a section, and then I would basically image banner. Let's check. Or I would do a slideshow, and then reasons to buy. Join our thrilled community. All right. So I would come to the slideshow here, and I would just yank this chicken here if I can. Let's have a look how that's gonna look. And then once that is in there, I hope it's gonna take the whole thing. It doesn't. So mobile, heading size, mobile, left to center, this and that. That's the 16 pixels. Check if that's better, or fucking fill it out all the way. This is for the text, never mind. Fucking no. Just fucking around for nothing, bro. So if it doesn't contain the whole picture, also fine. I would try to fix that if possible. If not, it's also fine. So what I would do is here, I would take this text that they already have. So join our thrilled community of customers, and I would copy this. I would delete this, and I would also delete the button label, or I would delete the whole thing. Yeah, perfect. And then I would come here, and then I would go under the second slide, and then once again I would just do the exact same thing. So the heading, I would just copy that in there or just paste it, we already had. Tell your brands, just delete this thing again because it doesn't add anything, right? In my opinion. So I would come here and I would maybe check this girl, or they have it like that. Yeah, I would just download it again. Where is it? Here, perfect. And then you come here, same thing, just yank that picture in there. Oh, I didn't take it. So basically go back to the downloads, just take the picture, just add it in there again. And then now what you're going to have is you're going to have the second picture of this girl basically. It's perfectly fine. And on the first one, I would go here. I would delete the button thing. I accidentally added that again. And then that's basically it. So this, in my opinion, would look a whole lot better than what they have with, what was this called? With join our thrilled community, reasons to buy, right? Sure, it would work for a branded product, but then the clothing, I wouldn't really run it too much. And then, for example, this is perfect, what our customers say. Now, what we can also do instead of just what our customers say without pictures, we can add pictures in there. So when we go to the review slides right here, so we can also click on them if you have more pictures than I already added basically. So the picture that I already had, that one, or the pictures that I took from the store, they already used, right? So oh, never mind, we already have these. So I would basically take this picture because it's also from a review, just download it again and just go back to the website. Just click on the review slide, just keep adding all the pictures inside of the reviews. So it looks like they're real reviews, already have the pictures, so there's nothing we need to change. And then once you do that, once you fill out every single of the pictures, I would say that's basically all you need to do. If you do that, the website is already like 80-90% done. All you need to do is just add some pictures, make it look a bit more professional, make it look a bit better, and that is basically it. And we used a very similar layout to this to generate the 30K that we did, and or 33K. And what it basically comes down to is the website is not super important. Website is just only one aspect, one factor that you need to be looking at. The most important thing, at least in my opinion, comes down to your product and your creatives, right? So like I said, if we did not have these metrics, believe me, that 33K would not be there, or we would have very little. In comparison, we would have very little net profit, right? So we need to be making sure we're going to focus on that, right? Same thing with Facebook. If we didn't have very good metrics here, we wouldn't be able to scale. And then what it comes down to when the whole thing comes to what the most important thing is. Damn, I'm choking on my words, but increasing your AOV. So when you increase your AOV, you're going to make sure you're going to be making more money. Now, if we go to this example here, I'll show you. If this was our thing, $30 minus the $10 of product cost, we sell it for 30, we product cost 10, we have $20 profit. Now our ads, and mind you, we had incredible ads, right? You guys saw it, the metrics is insane. Our ads cost $12 every single sale. If you only made $30 per sale and you had to give $10 to cost of goods, and your profit was 20, and you have to pay $12 to advertisement again, you only have $8 profit, which is very little. Then this would not have been there. This would have probably been fucking hell. What would have, that's literally less than half. So this would have been maybe like 4K, and probably would have been even worse because you're going to have all these other fees, expenses for the, it's just going to go drag it lower and lower. So to do this, what it basically comes down to, once again, is just finding the products, like I said, on the TikTok dashboard, right? When you're going to scroll, so the scrolling method. And after you do that, you'll find enough products that you can just find and just take. And then just finding the products on 1688, making sure you know where you need to be, finding the products basically on the web, and then just taking the same pictures, yanking them in here. Believe me, you'll find almost every product, right? And then creating a banger store using Atlas AI, which is going to do 80-90% of the work, so you barely do anything. And that is literally, look at this, it's completely done, literally. Barely anything that you need to be doing from here on. You can just launch this, and I'm pretty sure it will get you a lot of sales if you have your product, your creatives, and your offer right. That is literally it. So yeah, that's basically it. So let me just go here on this side of my screen, 1 second. So if I can just go there quickly. So yeah, that's literally it. So I want to just take a moment to go in here because these are my students on in the coaching, and as you guys can see, they're also making hundreds of thousands. This is Kevin. He made 100K in a couple months, and this was last year. And same thing goes here. He already did 10K in the last 7 days, and he keeps pushing it. Other guys just literally day one of joining, already finding a winning product, running it up. Everyone is making money inside of my coaching. So if you watch this video, if you enjoyed it, of course, like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you keep following me on Instagram, etc. But if you are looking for someone to, genuinely just give you some guide, give you a blueprint which you can take and literally just step by step implement and make sure you are going to be making money, just shoot me a message on Instagram or in the link below in the description. I have literally a fill out form where you can just fill out the form and you can just literally book a call afterwards. Just book a call with me. We'll get chatting and then, yeah, we'll see what we can do for you. And I thank you guys very much for watching this video. I'm just going to go scroll through these wins. 22K in last 7 days, 1 day 4.6. I'm telling you, my guys are killing it, bro. Here 9K, 1K, literally your 1K days again, 300 there, 5K, 5.6. Damn, bro. 3.5, 3.6, 200, 200. That's literally the first day, right? Then here 700, 1.1. 8.2K, 4.2. Like, this is all daily or in a couple days, by the way. It's not monthly. If you go into the monthly stuff, oh yeah, Caddy also literally joined this Tuesday. It's Sunday right now. He literally joined Tuesday. We launched ads Friday. It's Saturday that he posted this. Already making money. That's how quick it can go. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video. If there's anything you guys want to be guided with, just text me on Instagram, book a call down below if you're interested in the coaching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Appreciate you guys for watching. Ciao.